Making sense of your dollars, safeguarding your future. Learning to manage your money, invest, save and plan for the future. For the future, the Financial Literacy Bureau, that's the way to go. Making sense of your dollars, safeguarding your future. Make plans and build, stretch every dollar. I tell you, knowledge is power, power. Woo! Making sense of your dollars, safeguarding your future.
For more information, call 535-7700 or visit our website commerce.gov.bb. The Financial Literacy Bureau, making sense of your dollars, safeguarding your future.
A very good evening to everyone who has joined us for our session this evening, Making Your Money Work for You. My name is David Simpson, and I will be your chairperson for this session. The Financial Literacy Bureau welcomes you to this session, the second in our new webinar series, which commenced yesterday and will continue over the next few months as we bring seminars, webinars, and courses in all areas of finance that affect your daily lives, whether in business, in managing your household, or in community service. Let me first apologize for the technical glitch that we experienced yesterday evening with this Zoom webinar, forcing us to reschedule to this evening. We are very sorry for that inconvenience, but we've been able to resolve the issue and trust that all will go well this evening. I can let you know that a recording of today's event will be available on our social media pages and website within 24 hours of today's webinar, and you are free to access that recording on demand subsequent to posting of the link. This evening's session, Making Your Money Work for You, will be presented by Maureen Brown and is brought to you by the Financial Literacy Bureau, a section of the Ministry of Energy, Small Business and Entrepreneurship. Let me take the opportunity to also welcome to the webinar Director of Small Business in the Ministry, Mr. Anderson Cumberbatch, and any other facilitators or ministry staff that may be present. I also recognize the presence of our social media manager, Mr. Ryan Gittins. Our session is being streamed live on Facebook this evening for those who may wish to join there as a matter of convenience. Miss Maureen Brown, Principal Consultant with the HR Partner, is a multi-talented individual and has experience in such roles as HR consultancy, management training, coaching, facilitation, and is also a CNVQ assessor and relationship broker. In 2018, she completed a certificate in Introduction to Finance and was asked to host and teach such topics as financial markets, assets, instruments, principles, and much more. That experience has been quite transformative and has aided her greatly in conducting training for the Trust Loan Fund, which also falls under this ministry. Let me now introduce Ms. Maureen Brown, who will be your facilitator and presenter for this evening for the topic, Making Your Money Work for You. Maureen, over to you.
Thank you, David, and good evening to everyone, fellow citizens and residents, I like to say. It's my pleasure to conduct a training on making your money work for you. Is everyone hearing me clearly? David?
Yes, we are hearing you clearly. Continue.
Oh, great. Unfortunately, my camera just went bum on me for some reason, so you're not going to be able to see my face for the moment. Hopefully it will work again later, or you'll have to bear with the picture that you saw on the ad when they put out the seminar. Just before I get into what we're doing this evening, I just want to say a short prayer quickly. Is that okay, David? Yeah.
Yes, it is. Proceed.
Okay, let's pray. Father, we give you thanks for this evening session. We invite your wisdom. We invite your presence. We invite your knowledge. Father, you know, each participant that is on this seminar this evening, we pray that you would bring the wisdom and understanding we need, that we can relate to the information, that we'll have a fun time learning and something everyone will be able to carry away today, whether it's something that they're doing, so we're reinforcing that, or whether it's something new, but there'll be some kind of action that would be taken so that this can go to the benefit of them, their families, their communities, and inevitably our country. We give you thanks, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray all these things. Amen. Okay, making your money work for you. And now I'm going to get started. Okay, the first thing I like to start my presentations with most times is a quote. And this quote goes, "Our prosperity as a nation depends upon the personal financial prosperity of each of us as individuals." And this is taken from the book, The Richest Man in Babylon by George Glasson. Now I'm going to repeat it once again, and I want to give you time. So I'm going to wait about 20 seconds, and then I'm going to talk to you about why this is here. So again, our prosperity as a nation depends upon the personal financial prosperity of each of us as individuals. So I wanted that to sink in, and that's why I repeated it as well, because I just want to say every person in the sound of my voice and beyond, basically what you do will determine the prosperity of this nation, or it will determine the lack thereof of prosperity. So you as an individual, you have something to contribute, and your every action determines what you're contributing to yourself, your family, your community, and inevitably this country. So it is so important that each of us make that right contribution and continue to make it. So the government of Barbados has decided that this is one of their initiatives, and it's my pleasure to be part of adding value to you as a citizen resident of this country. Okay, so we have 3 objectives this evening. We want to ensure that you as participants have a basic knowledge and a clear understanding of financial literacy. We also want that you adopt healthy attitudes towards managing your finances. Yeah. So in case anybody, your attitude might not be as positive as it could be about managing your finances, and we find that, and I could speak to about myself, when your attitude is not quite positive about managing those finances, sometimes, most times it will not work for you then if your attitude is not the right one and positive most times. I know we don't always have positive interactions with money at all times, but it's important that we try to get that in alignment most times. And thirdly is to recognize the key components of sound money management. The agenda, there's not a lot on the agenda. The definition of financial literacy, we're going to look at that. I love to look at definitions. They tend to give us a quick understanding, a little summary, quick understanding of what it means and why we're doing what we're doing. So we're going to look at that. Then we're going to look at the fundamental principles of wealth creation, and that would have been taken from that book that I just got the quote from. And then we're going to look at understanding money and how it works.
Maureen, can I just interrupt you for 1 minute? One of the attendees has a hand raised, so just let me find out what they want to say. Just give me 1 minute. Hi, Misha.
No, that's in error. I had no idea that it was raised.
All right, no problem.
Sorry.
Just making sure you don't have any issues hearing or anything.
No, thanks.
Sandra, did you want to speak?
Okay, continue, Maureen.
Thank you, David. All right. So we're looking at the definition of financial literacy, and it was taken from investopedia.com in 2019, and I think it's still relevant today. Financial literacy is seen as a set of skills and knowledge that allow persons to make informed, efficient, and effective decisions about their personal, monetary, or economic resources. I will repeat. Financial literacy is seen as a set of skills and knowledge that allow persons to make informed, efficient, and effective decisions about their personal, monetary, or economic resources. So then, if they say it's a set of skills and knowledge, what are those set of skills and knowledge that we're supposed to have if we say that we are financially literate? Now, I'm going to ask you a question at this point. I do not want you to answer, but the reason why I'm asking the question now is because at the end of this session, when we look at the set of skills and knowledge that we're supposed to have, I want you after that session, then I'll come back with that question, and then I want you to answer it. So I'm just going to put out the question now so you can prepare yourselves while we go through that information, and then you're going to give me the answers. So you write them in the chat. You can raise your hand. David will unmute the mic, and you can tell me when we get to the other end of this definition and looking at those skills and knowledge. So the question is, how financially literate are you? How financially literate are you? On a scale of 0 to 100%, how financially literate are you? Do not want you to answer at this point. You will answer me down the road, and I hope that you will be willing to answer. I love interaction. So let's go and see what skills and knowledge you're supposed to have if you are financially literate. So if you say that you're financially literate, then you should be able to create and manage a budget. Yeah, if you say so. Now, if you say that, it means that I know some of us, we might have gone to court with Mr. Budget. He won the case. So since then, we haven't spoken to him. We don't have anything to do with that. And we ain't want nothing to do with the budget. If that's the case, okay. But really and truly, if you're going to walk around and tell me that you are financially literate, then you're supposed to be able to create and manage a budget. So we're going to play a little game now. Again, as I ask the questions, you'll speak to me. No, but it's not the first question I ask you about. That's at the end. So let's pretend that right now you are in the country and it's called the Financial Literacy Bureau country, right? So it's the FLB country. So we all live in this country. And the economy, based on the economy that we live in, now, please help me, stay with me. We're supposed to be playing a game, okay? In this economy, you are paid. So let's all say we have jobs. So you are paid $100 a month. Yes, $100 a month. And that $100 a month could do all types of things, pay your bills, all kinds of things it can do. Yes, it is because of that economy. Remember, we are pretending, so the $100 can work. So don't look at me strange. Don't look at me, that girl, she mad. Where did we get you from? No. Just work with me. So we in this economy, we're $100 worth. So you have $100, yeah? So I want you to think about. So there's some things I want you to take out, and I'm going to tell you based on the $100 can last the whole month, and it could work. It could pay your bills and all the things you normally do with a salary. Okay, work with me. So if I ask you, so you could drop it in chat, or you could let David on mic, you put it in your mind, you could tell me. So first thing we're going to take out is money for food. Okay, so first thing we're taking out of our $100 is money for food. So I believe I have Anderson in here with me, so I can start with Anderson, and then, but you could put it in the chat, and you could tell me, David, what you seeing coming in the chat. How much money you taking out for food? Remember, the $100 could last the whole month. It could pay all your bills, and they can come with some bills. So tell me, how much money you taking out for food? So, Anderson. All right, so Marissa, I see you got
$20.
$20 for food. All right. So that means she got 80 left by Anderson, taking out 10. All right. Yeah. Anybody else want to put in what they think they could? I don't know if anybody on the Facebook page, anybody else want to put on. David, what you taking out for food? How much you taking out?
I would probably do 20.
22. Good. Marisa, 15. Great, great, great. Nikisha, 20. Good. Okay. So we got, all right. So we got some other people. Good. So that means some of you have 75 left, 80 left back. Some people got 90 left back. Some people got, all right, you work out that for me. Right. Good. 85 and etc. Right. Anyway, I want you know, right, to take out the total for utilities. So we talking, and these are the 3 utilities I can give you, but you might got more, but I giving you 3. If you want to add on more to that, that's fine. So the 3 new utilities: water, electricity. Remember the $100 class. Water, electricity, and phone. Now you could decide whether it's a landline, 5 mobile phones. That's your business and your money. So how much money now you gonna put in for utilities? So, and I give you 3. If you got more than them utilities, well, it's up to you. But so out of the rest of the money you got, how much you taking out? Or Anderson see he taking out 15. Okay, I can see Anderson there. Marissa says she taking out 15. Anybody else, David? What about you?
I think 15 too.
15 too. Good. So when I got some money left back. Good, 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 good. So I want you to hold on that. Okay, so everybody keep the scores in mind. Okay, all right, so we moving on, and I came back to you right now, but we moving on. All right, if you say you're financially literate, you won't only be able to create and manage a budget, but you'll be able to track your spending. What do I mean when I talk about track your spending? I mean every penny you spend, you will write it down. Yeah. And the reason for that is because you want to make sure if like later in the month, the thing about tracking your spending is that you'll be able to check, because once you're making a record, you'll be able to check to see what you're spending your money on, and if you can make some different choices about what you spend your money on and how you spend your money. So really and truly, you're at an advantage when you're keeping track of your money. Now, I like to talk about the givers. There are some people among us, they have the gift of giving. So when it comes to giving, sometimes I feel wisdom does go through the door. So all of you have 3 friends, right? Or I ain't even gonna call them friends, 3 persons who turn up every month. And you all have decided, especially the givers among us, that got a giver or 2 in this group this evening. I know there's always turn up. And you have decided, because you are a giver, so you have to give no matter what, you will give. No, and you're committed to this giving. So I want you to decide out of the money you got left back. So you take out your utilities, you take out your food, you got more money left back. Remember that money could do a lot of other things. Good. You got 3 people that's turning every month, and you decide that you're going to give them a little something out of what you have. Okay? Now, I know how it is with the givers, and I ain't even going to talk to one. I just talking generally. The point is, how much money, if you, so the 3 of them is turn up. Now, this month, the trader coming, but there's one of them that come this time, and the story worse than the last time before. So you have to make up your mind what you're going to do. So you on a budget, you claim you financially literate. So you on a budget, you track your spending. How much money you feel that no, I am not telling you that you have to give. I am just saying this is what happens. And I know that the givers will give. So even if you ain't really a giver, but you want to ease out something to help somebody, how much money out of that budget that you claim you do, how much money out of that you plan to give away to those 3 people in total? So you can put it in chat. So let me look here and see what it's saying. Right. Amory got me laughing. Amory. All right, Amory. I invest with you. So I see Amory. Oh, okay. 5, 10. Okay. Great. Good. All right. So my thing is, right? Well, I just sorry for you. That it's your money. You do what you want to do. Your money. My thing is, you sure that the person that come, that the story bigger now, cause I got more problems now. You sure you gonna raise the money that you gain? Where you gonna get in more money? You gonna get in less money? Where you gonna get in the same amount? Or you gain them more? You gonna cap the budget? You gonna take out a little more of the budget? Or you gonna not get the others? You know, what sign things you would do? Are you sticking to INK what story to come with again the same amount? Or are you gonna give more? So can I have a few answers? There, same amount. Nicholas ain't changing his. He's same amount. They can't get how big the story is. It's going. Somebody else know what change David. Same amount. I already cut it off. All right then. Okay then. All right. So I see. Okay. I saw the boy ain't getting swayed, but the story bigger this time, you know. So the boy again sweat. All right. Fair enough. So, all right, y'all. Want to show me that when I'm in control. Good. Time to cut them off. But it making me laugh. Anyhow, so if you say a financial literacy, you not only be able to create a budget, create and manage a budget, you can be able to track your spending, so you can be able to watch where them dollars and cents going. You'll be able to understand and utilize debt repayment techniques. You'll be able to understand and utilize debt repayment techniques. Now, I guess some of you, I will not make the assumption all of you, but some of you in this group, you know, it's always find one and I am one of them too. You have a credit card. Does those persons who have a credit card or had one and you just only cut it up last month, so you know you could join in. Tell me if you know how much interest you pay when the year come on that credit card. Put it in chat. How much interest you pay? Let me see what he's saying. Cardell, you answered from before, or you just trying to trick me? You all got a card. So how much interest, those who have, you know how much interest you have? You pay? So you mean that nobody in this group? Okay. Seriously? Wow, that is so good. Or you too. Don't come to me with that, but you don't spend no more. You could take off. I wonder if you know the interest. That's my thing. The interest are average. You know yours. Do you know the I take? Nicholas, all right. You never had one. So only one, but he take the naughty. You see? So the point I want to prove here, right? You see, no, that's not a good thing. Good for you, Nicholas, if you never had one. Good for you, Amory, if you know. Hi, my girl Carter said 21%, but does not get called on. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so that's a good thing. It is important, and I'm saying that because it's important that you know how much you pay on your credit card. Because you have to get financially, you got to do better. So it's important. And a lot of times you get a credit card and you would not believe it. I'm just guilty. I had a credit card, and to be honest with you, I never took on how much interest I was paying to many years after one day. For some reason, I think I was getting wiser. I think it was by that time I do the course. That is all, oh crap. I can't believe it. But yes, this is what I'm paying. But I want y'all to hear this thing, and I like to talk about it. And it's all information, but it still is making a point. So I will read this thing to y'all that I found when I first started teaching this course in 2019. So listen to this. At the end of 2017, Barbadians had amassed 347 million Barbados dollars in credit card debt, according to the central bank report. Between 2015 and 2017, credit cards increased by 40% from 91,000 to 129,000. Now, this last sentence I'm going to make is what freaks me out with these statistics. 93% of the $347 million is owed by individuals and householders. People, help me understand. What is it that we are purchasing? Why that 93% is not from businesses? Why is it from individuals and householders? You know what, telling me that we are truly a consumer society, set of consumers. Our society as a consumer is consumerism is all. That's all we vote. That's what it tell me. So we gotta do better, people. We got to do better. So my thing is, we have to understand and utilize debt repayment techniques. Now, one of the first ones I want to talk about, people, is the credit card. Yes, that is why I start with that. Because the truth is that you see that thing called minimum payment. Yes, the minimum payment. My advice to you is, if you have for those of you who have a credit card, stop it. Stop paying the minimum payment. That is set up to keep you in debt to them all the time. Okay? You have to pay more, even if it's only $5 more. You have to stay on that track till you get out. You do not stop. You do not waver. You just get out. Okay? Next thing, yeah. If you have any other debt, you always try to put more. So if they give you this is where you pay back a month, no matter what kind of loan you have, I am saying to you that you need to be paying more. So, for instance, when I had a student revolving loan, and there's another thing too, these I call them seductive advertising. So come, no deposit, no down payment. Come. You see those things? I call them seductive. Keep far from them. I know some of us might have been caught up already, and I'm fine. All I'm saying, the same way you plan to get into that, you gotta plan how you can get out. So before you get into it, plan how you can get out. And when you have debt, you try to put as much money towards your debt to get out of it. Another thing, if you have 5 sets of loans right now, there's something called consolidation. That is something that you want to use, so that you try to get those smaller loans all together in one loan, so that you're only paying, but you're paying back, like, because you might have a big loan like your mortgage. Okay, so you leave that by itself. You don't try to put that, consolidate that with anything else. But if you have some smaller loans, like those appliances and those kind of loans, you try to get them all into one debt, so you can speak to your banker, your credit union person, your financier, and try to reduce the amount of loans, so that you won't be paying 5 different loans from 5. No. You need to consolidate. So those are some of the things that you don't want to do. For those of you who may not have a mortgage yet, and you're planning to get one, they say it's always best to have at least 25%. Yes. Deposit. Yes. I know that sounds big, but if you plan to get in there, you should plan to get out. And some of you might not have been able to do that. Okay, but if take the 100% more, so try. I didn't want to make you feel bad or anything, but I'm just saying, you have children, you have nieces, you have nephews, you have cousins, you can pass on the information and try to encourage them. So even if some of the things I'm saying to you, this seems like, oh, well, no, you have those coming behind you. You need to educate them, yeah, so that they can do better, yeah. So it's not a case of trying to make you feel bad as or anything. No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying these are things that you know, but you probably didn't bother. But no, I'm saying it's time that we get wiser. And if there's one thing that have taught a lot of us is COVID-19, I believe it's a time for us to reflect and reset. and get our house in order. So I'm not here to bring any guilt trips on anybody. It is just about bringing the facts and the wisdom that you had already, that you know. So I'm just here to remind you that you are financially ahead much more than you think you are, or you can get there. Yeah. So we want to understand and utilize debt repayment techniques. So we want to make sure that we are really paying back, throwing as much money at that loan as possible. So if you get hold of one side of that and you got more debt, don't go and lick out that set. Even if you put on half in a special fund, take the other half and put it towards that other set of debt to get out quicker. The quicker you get in, I'm one of those people who had a student revolving loan fund, and the lovely thing about the student revolving loan fund, and I know that, when you get in something with the government, I will always say the government does treat us well. I say that in inverted commas, do not kill me. But all I'm saying is, when I think about the student revolving loan fund, that's what I'm talking about. Because when you get, or in my time when I did it, way back, when you get the loan, you don't have to pay them back a cent till the course is finished. You understand? Whereas when you have the bank loan, so I know about that too, because I had one of those. So I ain't talking here because I could talk. You understand? You got to start paying back something to the bank until you draw down the first amount. And I talk about student loans. Yes, I talk about student loans. But with the government one, and that's why I'm saying they tend to do us better. And I ain't not here again for nobody, so I ain't into that. I talking about the student revolving loan fund. The good thing about that is, as I say, you don't have to pay back anything until you're finished. And another thing about it is that you also get a year's grace. And that year's grace really is about you being able to find a job so you can start to repay. So they give you a year's grace. So the truth is, no, this is what I want. This is a lesson that I have for you all. When you're young. Anyhow, I ain't gonna blame it on you, but ignorance too. So I had this 8-year student revolving loan fund. Yeah. And so I get the loan. And the good thing about it is, if I finish university in July, believe it or not, people, I flew back home. Before I flew back home, I had a job. Yeah. Believe it or not, yeah. But even before I go there, let me stop and put in a plug. Now, my time of study was one of the most painful times for me, and it was because of money. Yeah. And I prayed. I was on my knees. I cried. Actually, I will admit that probably I am the one that would have. I believe, my mother has high blood pressure, and I believe that was the one that pushed her over. Yeah. And the reason why I started to share this with you all is because it came to a point where, before I got the loan, the government at the time had to make a decision. So this is what really what made it very painful for me. The education budget was busted. And basically, the government didn't have any more money for education, and our government spends lots of money on education. Yes, our governments do. Through the years they have. And it was a case of whether the government should do a supplementary. So there was a whole set of us around the world. And I telling you, people, I thought my future was over. Because when you're young, how you think? I thought my future was over. I thought I was not going to make it. I thought everything was going to shatter for me. I cried. My mother tried her best, all kinds of things to get this money, all kinds of things happening. And anyhow, the government did go to Parliament, and they did the supplementary, and I got the loan, as I told you all. Now I started to tell you, why I stopped? I kind of gone back. The reason why I stopped and went back is because, people, let me tell you something. It bothers me that we as citizens will borrow money in a revolving loan fund. It means that when we pay back, the people behind us will get. Well, that was the time when it crashed the student revolving loan, because a lot of those aliens that came from Mars and borrowed the government money, then bring it back. Yeah, that is what happened. I mean, I could tell y'all some stories, but anyhow, we won't talk about that right now because we have to get on with it. But my point is, so I am saying to you, when we borrow money, especially from the government, when their terms are better than most of the private companies, and we just get careless and ridiculous and indifferent, then others suffer. Okay, good. So I give God thanks. I give him all the praise because I did get the loan and I went on. But let me get to the meat of the matter. The meat of the matter is that I know. So I got 8 years to pay back this loan. As I tell y'all, fly home now, get my job and everything. And so you have a year's grace, so you can put it off for a year, or as soon as you get a job, you start to pay, because that makes sense. Well, people, now y'all know I worry, so you would think that I would take the year off so I could get a job as soon as I finish. Well, I decide I want my money, so I take the year off. Well, you know what that means. The 8-year loan went to 12 years. Oh my goodness, people. I was like, I started holding my belly. I was like, oh, I ever go to this day. Oh God, I would hurt my belly. But you know what? Wisdom kick in, then it didn't kick in at first, and you can understand that. It didn't kick in. And I decided, so at the time I had to pay back $250 a month. The next year it is $3. The next year at the $450. I every year raise it. So when then I get hold of that 12-year debt sooner. You understand what I'm saying? So I just drive a whole point about the reason to throw more money at the debt than they're telling you have to pay it back because you will get out of the debt sooner. So that's the only point I'm really trying to make. So I want to spend some time there because a lot of us might be in debt, or and we might feel like we might be beating up ourselves. I'm saying there are ways to get out of it. You just have to stay focused, put it down as a financial goal, and keep going. And when you get out, you will know how to stay out. And even if you plan to get in, you will know how you're going to get out. Okay? So if you say you're financially literate, again, we could create and manage a budget. We could track spending. We could understand and utilize debt repayment techniques. We will plan for retirement. Now, people's retirement. I hope that we all are thinking about retirement. I don't know if that's if that's a right statement I should be saying, because there's some places where retirement is not they don't have that word in their vocab, but we do here. One of the things that hurt my heart as an HR person, sometimes you sit down, you have to calculate these things, and to be honest with you, I've had the experience of having to calculate people's stay at home after, and my eyes open and I shake my head and I was wondering, how on earth are they going to manage after work? People, it is time to start thinking if you haven't thought about it. I was blessed, and that because it's always, and there's way talking about. So even if we feel like we're too old, you got your children, you got your grandchildren, you got your nieces, you got your nephews, you got cousins, please, people talk to them. Because I had it fortunate that when I finished college, before I went to university, when I finished college, the company I went to, obviously, when certain companies you go to straight away, it's like they're gonna tell you about retirement plan. So, you use your wisdom and you get on early and you know about that and you start thinking in that direction. Everybody's not fortunate to go in companies like that. So I'm saying to you, check with, there's a lot of insurance companies. There's the ICBL. There are people out there who are trying to do things now for us. So for people who have to think about their retirement. A couple of years back, I went to a seminar with actuaries, and they were talking about the retirement, and those of us who are depending on our NIS. Oh Lord, this is before COVID, they were saying that you even need to top it up. Yeah. So they were saying, it's good to not only have the NIS, but have something additional. Now, I know some people may not be able to have two, but all I'm saying is make sure that your NIS contributions are in. And for those of you who may be small business owners who self-employed, like myself, make sure that you have your NIS, your NIS payments up to scratch. But please, it is something to think about. You need to plan for retirement. It hurts my heart when I see what some people are how they're not managing so well, because you could see they did not plan for retirement. Yeah. And it's so sad that we don't think about it early in the game. So I'm saying, even if we didn't, you can still do it now, and you have those coming behind you that you can advise them to make wiser decisions than some of us may have made if we didn't do it. Yeah. Okay, so we have the three of those. All right, so I'm gonna have to. Oops. All right, people, I may have to. Next. Okay. All right. So the next. All right. So the next thing, if you say you're financially literate, not only able to manage, create and manage a budget, plan for your retirement, utilize debt repayment techniques, track your spending, but you'll be able to understand the areas of investing and insurance. Again, investing is not for only one set of people. It is for every and anybody. And based on what era you were born into, you might not have thought that investing is something only certain people do, certain classes of people, a certain color skin of people do. It's not true. Investing is for everybody. Nowadays, the internet has opened up the world of investing to the world of knowledge, to all of us. And there are many places you can go to get the information. And there are people, you can start with something as small as mutual funds, as safe as mutual funds. They say government bonds as well. I know that we might go a battle, and I'm not talking about that. But what I'm saying is you can get financial advisors all around Barbados to help you with those areas. I'm saying if you're financially literate, you would find out about investing and see where you can start. I'm also saying insurance. When it comes to insurance, you must take the time to insure the things that need to be insured. When I hear of houses and you're not having insurance, it bothers me. We make sure our cars are insured. If you have equipment in your house, if you happen to be a business owner, a self-employed person with your equipment, you need to insure that. Do that. Where you can insure the contents of your home, do that. Before, in my ignorance, I used to not pay attention to these things. Now I know far better than that. I'm saying it is something that you should inquire about and know about and make the necessary decisions, whether it's now or later. To engage in tax planning, pay as you earn is something that we should pay attention to as employees. If we're employees, make sure that's happening. NIS, make sure your NIS. Actually, on the NIS website, you can have your account where you can go in to make sure if you are an employee, where you can follow through and see if your employer is paying your NIS. Yeah. If you're self-employed, then you need to keep that up to scratch. Actually, is a law, so you should really be paying it. So you would engage in tax planning. Yeah, these are things that you would do. And again, I say to you, some of you may have children, you may have cousins, you may have neighbors that you know. If they're going to be self-employed, these are things that they need to pay attention to as well. What are your tax obligations? Yeah. If you say you're financially literate, you'll be able to understand how money works. If you say you're financially literate, you'll be able to create and achieve financial goals. So even before we leave for this evening, you could decide that one of your financial goals for this year is to get out of debt. To actually sit down and know how much debt you're in, because sometimes some of us were in debt and we don't want to know. We pretend I'm even thinking about it. No, don't do that. You need to pay attention to that. Just like if you don't have a retirement plan in place, that's another goal that you could set for yourself. If you're not saving as you would like to, you can determine that you will save. If you stop saving, and that used to happen to me, if some of us, we want to save, I want to save like $500 a month, I want to save $400 a month, please. Now, if you decided that is one of your goals and they're working out, do not save something. So I'm saying, even if it comes only $50 now, you can save it. So I'm saying those are the kind of financial. So we talk about you will create and achieve financial goals. The financial goal can be as simple as that: getting out of debt. starting to save and being consistent, even if it's just $5 a month, I will do it, or $5 a week. I will do it. I will cut out something that I like to do, and I won't bother. So Eric Lewis like he thought with big malt drinks. So if it's buy big malt drinks every month, you might be able to decide that you cut down that bill to half and take some of that money and put it towards saving. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. To manage internal and external financial challenges. So for me, so sometimes we have external and internal financial challenges. So this is the external. So in fact, I can tell you about my internal financial challenge. So let me tell you about it. So I was paying my debt. Remember my student revolving loan debt, right? So I paying that and I getting on good paying. So I mean, when I should have seen this book, I mean the thing is so fat. So I on the last stretch coming down on the last. I think I did nearly last year, yeah, about the last year or so, yeah. Anyhow, where you look now. Because the thing about it is, right after that, with the student revolving loan fund, just before I finished, they had got it. I mean, they start to bring down the laws heavy, so that no, I mean, if you're going for student law or revolving loan fund, no, I mean, geez, oh, Brad, I thank you that back in my time it wasn't like that. No, the militant with you. But anyhow, back then, that's when they started to decide we gotta do better than this. These people really abusing me and taking me for granted and things, and they started taking up. So I see this letter come home from student revolving loan fund. So I did thinking, what? So you know how this guy, you know how the government thinks this guy staff out. So I did say, I got it telling me that they got money for me or something. You know how we like to do that. I like to take there's a check in the post. Anyhow, when I open the letter now, people, when I read that letter, I take that letter and when I throw it, I think it went somewhere down behind the bed and was so bad. And I left it there for a couple of days and I hear this still small voice say, Maureen Brown, take up that and address it. You can imagine it. These people said and tell me that unfortunately they forgot the insurance that I was supposed to be paying insurance for my student revolving loan fund. So I owe them $1,100. Me? But that ain't my problem. That's what I feel. Not my problem when I'm mad. I was so upset. So I decided to call them up and I quarrel. When I done talk, the man was very nice. Let me talk, let me quarrel, let me fret. I said, okay, ma'am, you can just tell us how you plan to pay. You know, that's it. I quarrel about that. So he can tell me, well, people, you will guess how I pay them back. You understand? So I decide, okay, I will pay them back. So that's why I talk about managing internal and external financial challenges. You don't take the letters, you don't take the problems and throw them under the bed or throw them on the carpet and say they will go away. That's not true. It don't go anywhere. It's still there waiting for you. So I went in and I decided to pay them like a coolie man because I was not going to take $1,100 and put in their hand. I paid them like a coolie man because I didn't get on no more interest. So I paid them like a coolie man. Yes, that's what I do. But external financial challenge, that all of we get real vexed about. When the government, in 2018, when the stepping, we all had some external financial challenges that we had to deal with that was very vexing to the soul. Right. So when the ones come, you're going to manage them. You might quarrel, you might fret, you might cuss, you might do whatever. The point is, you got to learn how to manage our external and financial challenges. So when the government put more tax upon we, like the sewage thing upon the water, and then the bus fare went up. Oh, Jesus. Yes, as vexing as it must, we got to make the necessary adjustments in our budget. Yeah. And we have to be able to manage them and manage them well. So you don't go now and get yourself in any more trouble. You don't go into bad habits. You don't do those things. You pull yourself together and deal with it. So if you say you're financially literate, you'll not only be able to create and achieve financial goals, you'll be able to manage internal and external financial challenges that will come. Those that you didn't think about, you didn't know they were there, they will come. And what we talk about COVID. Oh Lord Jesus. Last but not least, I always say to people, you need the counsel of a financial expert. So even with the retirement plan, so if you got a small budget right now, if you sit down with a financial planner, you'll be surprised how they might be able to show you, especially if you're tracking that money, how they may be able to show you how you could weed out a little bit to start on that retirement plan, to get down that debt. So always talk to somebody an expert in these areas that will help you. So at least if there's one person that you say, speak to a financial expert. Yeah. So there are many of them out there, but I like to say, especially when I talk to business people, I usually say get the accountant. But I say, yeah, even as simple as not simple. Sorry, David. Get an expert like David and then the accountant. Yeah, they can easily help you. So if you're financially literate, these are the things that you would say you would do. So put it in the chat. How financially literate are you? We just went through the set of skills and knowledge that you're supposed to have. So how financially literate are you? On a scale of 0 to 100%, since I've just gone through the skills and knowledge, be honest. Tell me. I ain't gonna call out your name. So I see some voting is happening. Okay. Okay. So I can see, so between 0 to 25%, we have 23% people that are saying that they're between 0 to 25%. 46% of us are saying we're between 26% to 50%. Another set of us are saying we're between 51 to 75%, and then another set of us, so some more coming in. So the majority are in between 26% and 50% financially literate. Okay. So thank you so much. The bigger group is between 26 to 50%. Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much. So you can see the results there on the screen, yeah? Thank you, David, for that. Right. So the reason why I asked really was not to make anybody feel bad or anything like that. It was really about us just thinking about ourselves, thinking about the things we know, the things we do, the things we don't do. And again, one of the financial goals that you could have this year is that you get more financially literate. So you'll go and learn about retirement. You'll make sure your tax is in order. You'll make sure the insurance, the things that you need to get insured, they're insured. You'll go and find out about investing. Because even if you can't start investing right away, the more knowledge you have on it, then you can plan that in the next 3 years, 4 years, this is what I'm going to put towards investing. I'm going to find out about it. I'm going to talk to people. So thank you so much for answering that. And so we can start from today, we can start from tonight, how we're going to get more financially literate. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Good. Yeah, I ain't sure why I stopped screen sharing there. Sorry, people. Let me just go back. Right. Okay. Principles of wealth creation. So these principles. So all I'm doing is reaffirming what you know already. Okay. So we're going to watch a short little video now. So David could let me know when I start it if everybody can hear clearly. So it's just a 2-minute little video. Let's watch this and then we're going to go through those principles.
How to get rich, ways to get rich, and the 7 laws of money. Law number 1, start thy purse to fattening. Pay yourself first. A part of all that you earn is yours to keep. Law number 2, control thy expenditures. Spend less than what you make. If you want to start building wealth, get on a budget. Start spending less than what you make and set aside that one coin each and every day. In today's times, this means not less than 10% of all that you earn gets set aside. Law number 3, make thy gold multiply. From stocks to real estate to new businesses, any idea. Just be very smart about it. Law number 4, guard thy treasure from loss. Put your money somewhere that is super safe. A good way to do this is to open a bank account and put 2 people's names on that bank account, and both have to sign to get to the money. This will ensure that you guard your treasure from loss. Law number 5, make thy dwelling a profitable investment. Stop paying rent. Invest in a property that will go up. Law number 6, ensure a future income. Plan for the future so you will not be a burden on your family. Law number 7, increase the ability to earn. Sharpen your saw. Increase your knowledge, your wisdom of money, and how to get it. The best time to start is right now. Wealth creation is not a mystery. It's not luck, and it's not a secret. It is a repeatable process and something that anyone can and should learn. These principles come from a fantastic book called The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clausen, The 7 Laws of Success.
So, you see, very simple principles, and we all know them. So I'm just going to go through them very quickly. Put aside 10% for self. I remember when I first came across that, when a youngster actually told me that, I was like, huh? What are you talking about? You know, right away university, and I was like, what are you talking about? Couldn't get it, understand, but I could attest to it. You should put aside at least, they say, 10% for self. So, you know, for those of us who are Christians, we put aside 10% as our tithe. Well, you should put aside the same amount at least for yourself. However, what I will say at this point is, so if you think about the amount of money you get at this stage, your salary, you know, wherever your wage is, you know, your income, your revenue, I am saying, even if you can't put aside 10%, it's about the discipline of being committed to put aside something every week or every month. So whether it's 1%, 2%, 3%, 0.5%, I am saying live on that principle of putting aside something. Yeah. Create a budget and manage it effectively. In fact, I want all of you to take out 10% now out of that money that you have from the $100 in our FLB country. I want you to take out 10%. Hopefully you got money left back, because you know I know when I went and do the rest, but take out 10% now. So you see how when I went to the food and when I went to bills, I wonder if anybody had taken out some of it for themselves and put it aside. Well, I'm saying this is a good time to think about it and do it, or make sure that is what is happening. Even if it ain't happening in real life, make sure it happens now in our mock country. Okay, good. Multiply your income. Multiplying your income really is about investing. There's lots of information out there about investing. I mean, it blows your mind, to be honest with you. Investing is something, though, that it takes time, and it's important that you get someone who knows about it, who's been in it before you, and you get the advice from the right people. But it's good for you to learn about it. So one of the people that I like to, I've read some of his stuff, Mike Maloney, yeah. He got into it himself because he had hired someone for his mom, and then it didn't really work out to manage her investments. But all I'm saying is, there's so much information out there. You can learn, even if you get an expert, you can still have somebody who helps you make those certain decisions when it comes to multiplying your income. In terms of investing, that's one way. Protect your assets from loss. When you think about that, that's all about insurance. Making sure that the things that need to be insured are insured, even if they're not right now. Please put a plan in place. Make it one of your financial goals that you are going to try to get things insured that can be insured. I know some people got out to the jury insured. I mean, based on your level of income and stuff like that, you will determine what is more important and you will prioritize, and you would make sure that you do the things to protect your assets from loss. And one of the things you want to do in protecting your assets from loss, I mean, this might sound real basic, but a lot of times it's about taking care. It's about the maintenance. Are you taking care of, just like the car? I am sure your car gets a certain amount of services every year, and you make sure it gets all those basic stuff you should take care of so that it can last a long time. And you can even, I remember, we're talking about assets that you can pass on to those behind you, your children, your grandchildren. So you need to take care of them. Yeah. So your jewelry that you might want to pass on, your paintings, all these kinds of things. You might decide to be somebody that invests in paintings. Yeah. So all these are assets that you need to take care of. You need to get them insured, do that. Make your home a profitable investment. I know most people believe that, and I struggled with it for a while too, but I have not struggled anymore. Your home is only a profitable investment if it generates income. As long as your home is taking income from you, so you have to pay the house insurance and the tax and all, and the property tax and stuff like that. You got to basically maintain it. Then it's a utility. It's not really an investment. So what I would say to you is that when you have your business out of your home, that's when you talk about it being an investment. If you have a room rented out, or you've put on a set of apartments, or you're renting out something for somebody to do a workshop, or you use your home to have events, that you decide you have this lovely lawn and you have this lovely home, and you decide, people can have birthday parties, they can have stag parties, they can have showers. Now we have the reveals. What it is now? Them right. That new thing that people are doing with the babies, gender reveal events. Oh yes, all those kind of things. All these are ways in which we can utilize our home to make it a real investment. Yeah. Ensure you have a future income. What I would use in there is your pension. Then you take care of your future by making sure you have stuff that you'll have that ongoing revenue that's coming in. And if you don't, you can't work anymore. You don't want to work anymore, because whatever is coming in for you on a monthly basis, it can take care of your needs and more. Yeah. So when we say ensure you have a future income, we're really thinking of there. I'm thinking about pension. Yeah. Increase your ability to earn. Create different streams of income. A lot of you have talents that you're probably not using, or you didn't think you could use them. Some of you might think, I only got one talent. You might be surprised at the other things you can do. So for instance, I like to say that I'm going to open a barbershop. So I'm just giving you an example. So I like to say I'm going to open a barbershop, and the name of my barbershop is there's a particular barbershop, oh right. So the name of my barbershop is going to be the Queen of Fade. That sounds familiar? Anyhow, that's the name of my barbershop. So in this barbershop, apart from doing hair, the male's hair, cutting hair, another stream of income that I can have in my barbershop is that I can decide for those males who have lovely beards, and sideburns. I don't know if they call it that, they call everything a beard. But anyway, I could start putting your logo or your name or your picture or something like a picture or portrait in it for you. That's another stream of income. Don't be laughing. And For those who have lovely mustaches, I could always color them for you. So what you want? X, gold and green, blue, yellow and black, purple, whatever. You see? So that is one for the one set of income coming in for doing the beard, another set for coming for doing mustaches. You understand what I mean? So there you go. So that one thing, you see how I could get cut up enough different streams of income. So all I'm saying to you, people, there's a God above who's given to everybody talents, whether it's one. And remember in the Bible, where the body had one talent and God was not happy that they take that talent and hide it on the bushel. You got to do something with the talent you got. So some of you, you may be employees in organizations, but you have other talents that you can use to bring in other streams of income. Yeah. So all I'm saying that think about these things. You know these things. I ain't telling you, I don't think I'm telling you anything new. All I'm doing is refreshing and reinforcing what you already know. So there we go. So in a nutshell, all I'm saying is spend less. So yes, we have COVID has taught a lot of us, including myself, that we can spend less, we can earn more, and we can then invest wisely. Okay? So we're going to spend less, earn more, and invest wisely. Money and how it works. Okay, so I saw these definitions and I thought, yes, these are definitions. I like them. So I'm going to share them with you so you can see, you can broaden your perspective. You kind of know this stuff, but sometimes is to have these definitions that help you kind of conceptualize quicker and make wiser decisions. So commodity money. What is commodity money? Goods and services are exchanged for goods and services. The old system of, could put it in the chat. Let me see if you know what that word is that I have there. Let me see who knows. What's the old system? You exchange goods and services for goods and services. What's that old system? Anybody can guess? Yes. Correct. Marie and Nikisha. Yes. Barter. That's the old system of barter. Okay, so that's commodity money. Fiat money is when the government declares that is a legal tender, everyone accepts it as a medium of exchange. It's not backed by any physical commodity. So many years ago, money used to be backed by gold. Yeah, actually the coins used to be actually out of gold. But then you know how man's heart is. So now we're into money. In 1971, President Nixon decided he's going to take the money. Money will not be backed anymore by a commodity like gold. It wouldn't be backed by that kind of physical commodity anymore that has its intrinsic value, gold. So as long as he took it off of that, you now call it fiat money, okay? Fiduciary money, its value is dependent on persons' confidence that we generally accept it as a medium of exchange. It is not declared legal tender by the government. Notice that. It's a promise by one person to the other. So the examples that we have are checks, banknotes, or drafts. So when we get a banknote, when we get a check, when we get a draft in our hands, because I like to talk about the credit unions. When you go to credit unions and you want to withdraw a certain amount of money, you want to withdraw a certain volume of money, they give you a draft. The banks as well. But I always remember the credit union based on an experience I had with them. They always give you drafts. So when you have that in your hand, guess what? You have fiduciary money in your hand. So we talk about fiat currency. We know what's fiat. We know the currency we use every day in our local countries. We know that that's what you call fiat. Then when we have banknotes or drafts, that's called fiduciary money. Yeah. And we know there's commodity money. Last but not least, there's commercial bank money. Debt generated by commercial banks. Notice that. Debt generated by commercial banks that can be exchanged for real money. That makes me laugh every time. Or to buy goods and services. So basically, we go in the banks, we lend them, we put our money on saving accounts and all those accounts, and the bank take out the money, and it puts you, and you go and put yourself, bank can do one thing for you. You go and put yourself, I go and put myself in debt. called commercial bank money, the loans that we have. So in a nutshell, money is a tool used in many ways for the exchange of goods and services. Yeah? In a nutshell, that's what we can say about money. It's a tool used in many ways for the exchange of goods and services. Assets and liabilities. Asset is something that puts money in our pocket. Liability is something that takes money out of our pockets. That's, you know, that I think that definition is so good. Yeah. Asset is something that puts money in our pockets, and liability is something that takes money out of our pockets. That's all you gotta remember. And you know what Robert Kiyosaki said? I like him as well. I follow him from time to time. The poor, listen to what he's saying. The poor and the middle class acquire liabilities but think they are assets. The poor and the middle class acquire liabilities but think they're assets. So there's an example that I like to use that I saw once, and it's an example of where. So listen to this, because I don't have it up on a slide. I probably should put it on a slide. But so say for instance, so let me put myself. I buy an iPod. Remember, you know where iPad comes from, the company Apple, right? So it was in 2001 that I buy an iPod for $399 US, right? And then that same $399, David took it, and it's in 2001, and David took that $399, and David decided to buy $399 US in Apple shares. Now, in 2011, David amassed an amount of $20,000 US, and I couldn't even find my iPod. The poor and the middle class acquire liabilities but think they're assets. So I felt happy that I had an iPod. Yeah, got something for Apple. Look, I got an iPod. I went down, can't find, 10 years after, can't find my iPod. And I buy two more. And David got 20,000 US. Now, who is the wise one there? Y'all sorted out. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to be careful how we walking about, taking up our money, spending it for lots of liability, and we ain't got the assets to pass on the way or to help us out on a rainy day. We can't afford to continue to do that. So what's the point? The only way to become financially independent is to accumulate income generating assets which can pay for your expenses. So the rich do not take up their money and spend it like that. They have income generating assets which pay for their expenses. Yeah. So it's about saving capital, saving capital, and then the capital works hard and generate additional income for us. So your ultimate goal in life is to be financially secure, then financially independent, and then financially free. So what do I really mean about that? Like, what do I really mean? So our ultimate goal, so if you're financially secure is when you have enough savings that you can live from for a period of time, even if an emergency happens. So this is what I want you to do. Tonight, later tonight, early tomorrow morning, I want you to sit down and think, and I'm going to repeat it more than once. I want you to think about all your expenses in any given month. I want you to total them up. I want you to multiply that by 6. Yeah? And you could add in a little bit extra. And that is what you should have put away as an emergency. So it has nothing to do with your savings account, You should have an emergency fund. And if we didn't think so before, COVID taught us an emergency fund has nothing to do with your savings fund. So they're saying that your emergency fund should be at least 6 months of amount that can pay your expenses. Some people say up to 12 months. That's what you should put away, and that would be that would be a start of you being financially secure. So you get a month expenses, you multiply it by the figure 6 for 6 months, and as I say, put in a little extra. And that would be so even if that becomes one of your financial goals when you leave here tonight, if you don't have any financial goals or you want to add it to another one, make sure that you have an emergency fund. So you're going to work towards that. If you don't have one, no, you're going to work towards that. Okay? And I know some of you, your emergency fund might be look up by now because I mean, Jesus, bro, this thing like it ain't like it, like it holding on. So I can understand if you don't have one, no, but let's all work towards having an emergency fund, which is separate and distinct from our savings account. Yeah. Financial independence now is when you have built up enough capital to live from it indefinitely. So you don't have, so you could have last year when some of us were scrambling both planes. Like you didn't have to worry about it. In fact, you could have gone and pay your bills for the rest of the year and you could have probably paid bills for other people. That's when you're financially independent. You don't even have to think about it. Yeah. So some people, their pension, yeah, they didn't have to think about it. Their pension was enough that they's got to pay taxes when year come. Yeah. They got sending people around. Yeah, them kind of people. So, and apart from that, they got other income coming in because they would have planned and they would have been ways and they would have had the kind of steady incomes and they plan well and they now can sit back and relax. That's when you don't have to think. You can live indefinitely. Yeah. So like you wanted people that could go up on cruises every year, or you could say, I getting away for 6 months this year. I feel like you'll fly over today. Them kind of people. Financial freedom now is in a state of where you can fulfill all your dreams. So you can sit down. So if one of your dreams was to send your mother to Israel on a trip, because she always want to go there, that was one of my dreams. Then you could do that without any thought. If you want to change your car right now, like that car there, that time you only got a car like 4 years, 5 years, and you like, I tried driving that. Oh dear, I need another car. Oh, I don't like that anymore. Yeah, that's state nowhere. Like, the children and the grandchildren and the great grandchildren taking care. You could take care of them and all. That is when you're financially free. Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. So those are, at least for those of us, some of us, we have to get financially secure first and then we walk up to those other places. So that's our ultimate goal: financially secure, financially independent, and financially free. So let's recap. Financial literacy is seen as a set of skills and knowledge that allow persons to make informed, efficient, and effective decisions about their personal, monetary, or economic resources. So now I'm going to give you a little quiz. So I pray that you will stay with me just to finish it. We're going to finish shortly. So you're going to fill in the blanks. So put it in the chat. Monitor that chat. So if you say you're financially literate, you will be able to create and manage a what? Let me check the chat. You'll be able to create and manage a... Yes. Oh, Lord, I'm feeling fussy. This teacher is feeling very smart with herself. The children, they're learning. Oh, dear, they've taught something. You'll be able to track what? What would you be able to track? Let me see. Yes. Oh, dear. Thank you. Thank you so. Thank you. You'll be able to do what? To do something and then utilize that something techniques. What is that? What's that, chat? Let me see. Remember my story. What would you be able to do? That what? So the word starts with you, starts with N. Yes. Understand. Yes. Yeah. Understand. And then the other one, that repayment techniques. Yes. Thank you. Yes, and what's the other one? You'll be able to something for your retirement. Yes. Very good. Wow. I am feeling good. This teacher feeling good. They're gonna take me back another year or another day to understand the areas of what is it? Coming at you again to understand the areas of yes, yes, uh-huh, yes, 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 investing and insurance. Very good, very good, very good. I'm feeling very fussy with myself. Yes. You'll be able to do what in something. Uh-huh. You'll be able to do what? Planning. Something in something planning. Let me see what the chat has there. Let me go and see. Yes, yes, yes. I can see people putting in the first word. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So you got yes. I see some of you having the first word. Yes, so the first word is engage in. A lot of people usually miss the three-letter word, but I see two people have the three-letter word. I want to see if anybody else get that other three-letter word because I know sometimes it slips your mind. See if one other person has it. In tax planning, yes, to engage in tax planning. To understand how what works. Everybody should know this one. How understand how what works. Yes, Lakeisha. Who else coming at me? To understand how what works. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yes, yes. You yes, to understand how money works. Wait, when I put out the chat box, it blocking y'all? Yes, it is. Yes, you're correct. Oh, okay. I didn't know that, Okay. All right, so I'm going again. Ugh. Yeah, so save at least how much percentage? I don't understand why your chat box gonna go in the middle of the screen though. Oh dear, dear, dear. Save at least. Oh dear. In order for me to say, I'm gonna have to put it over. Okay, yes. So if yes, so at least 10%. And I said somebody telling me something. Right. So at least 10%. And remember, I told y'all if you can't save 10%, you can save, and you could pick out which percentage between 0 to well, not 0. Definitely not 0. Okay. Right. But you could do less than that as well. Yes. Less than 10%, but at least you must get into the habit. So y'all can tell that I know how to do this, right? Yes, budget. Yes, save at least. And the second law is budget. Yes. What's the third law? Yes. 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 Multiply your income. Correct. Protect your something from something. So put the two words in. Yes. 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 Okay, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Oh, white people. I'm feeling very fussy with myself. With you, really. Make your what a profitable investment. Let me see if who on agreement with me. Yes, yes, yes. Of course, yes. And the other one, ensure a future what? Cure? Cure? Let me see. Oh, good. Income. Yes, yes. Correct. And last but not least, what are you going to do? Do something to your ability to do what? So put in the two words for me, please. Let me see. Oh, Lord. Sorry, people. Oh, Lord. Every time I'm doing that. Ah. Sorry. Yes. Increase and your ability to earn. Correct. Brilliant. So I have my students who are paying attention and I'm quite happy. So in a nutshell, the only way to become financially independent, and I'm going to repeat it again, is to accumulate income generating assets which can pay for your expenses. So we want to become a people who are into investing, generating income. We want to become more of a producer economy than a consumer economy. Yeah. So to create wealth, in a nutshell, we need to spend less, earn more. So we create multiple streams of income and we want to invest wisely. And I would say you first learn about investment and then you increase your asset. Last but not least, people, let's ponder on this for 20 seconds. Our prosperity as a nation, again, I repeat myself, depends upon the personal financial prosperity of each of us as individuals. So each and every one of you, your contributions to this country determine your wealth, determines your family's wealth, your community wealth, and inevitably the nation. Thank you so very much. David? If there are any questions, feel free to ask them. But David, I'll pass over to David and you can put any in the chat box if you want to. But David, over to you.
Thank you very much, Maureen. And thank you all for being an attentive audience. Do we have any questions? You can feel free to either raise your hand, type them in the chat, or use the question and answer box that is in the menu bar at the bottom of your screen. We can take a few minutes to take any queries, any questions that you may have in relation to anything Maureen touched on or anything that may be a burning question for you right now.
Sorry.
Doesn't look like we have any questions, which means everything that you went through was clearly understood, it appears.
Looks so.
Remember that a recording of today's session will be shared within 24 hours on our social media pages and the website of the ministry at commerce.gov.bb. You should stay tuned to our social media pages for more information on the work of the Financial Literacy Bureau and upcoming sessions. There is another session tomorrow, which is currently being shared to your screen. Budgeting for Family Life, which will be held tomorrow evening, Thursday, May 6th at 6 p.m. And this will be presented by Mr. Raymond Haynes, who is a director with Deloitte Barbados and a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Barbados, one of our partners in the Financial Literacy Bureau. Do you feel like your money does not last? Is your money lasting from payday to payday only? Are you having difficulty meeting your financial goals? If this is you, we want you to register for this session. Maureen would have gone through in her session earlier the benefits of budgeting, and it was one of the financial tips she gave. So Raymond goes into more detail tomorrow on how you can live on a budget, how you can formulate your budget, how you can plan for and meet for the range of financial goals that you may have individually or as a household. So we invite you. Registration is still open. Please follow the link and you can register for our third Zoom webinar from the Financial Literacy Bureau for the month of May. Again, targeting individuals and households. The topic is budgeting for family life, and it will be presented by Mr. Raymond Haynes. The recordings will be posted to our social media pages, and once fully edited, we will endeavor to share these by email as well to all attendees. You can also look out for a series of financial tips that will be posted to our social platforms as well. Should you have any queries at any point in time, please, you can send us messages via our Facebook and social media pages. You can email us at flb.246@barbados.gov.bb. You can call us on 535-7700, or you can visit the website of the Financial Literacy Bureau, of the ministry, which is responsible for the Bureau, at commerce.gov.bb. Our social media handle, flb.246, all of which you see on our screen. We are extremely happy that you have taken the opportunity to join us this evening for another Zoom virtual clinic as we address all things financial. Today's session was presented by Miss Maureen Brown, and the topic was making your money work for you. And if there are no other questions or comments from the attendees, we will close the session at this point. So I will ask one last time, does anyone have any questions, comments, or queries that they want to raise at this time? Okay, so I thank you all for joining this evening, and we look forward to welcoming you to another session. And we trust that this session was of benefit to all of you in planting the seeds about financial literacy and making your money work for you. Our other sessions will go further into understanding all things financial. So have a good evening all, and thank you for joining us.
Making sense of your dollars, safeguarding your future, learning to manage your money, invest, save and plan for the future. For the future, the Financial Literacy Bureau, that's the way to go. Making sense of your dollars, safeguarding your future, make plans and build, stretch every dollar. I tell you, knowledge is power, power. Woo! Making sense of your dollars, safeguarding your future.
For more information, call 535-7700 or visit our website commerce.gov.bb. The Financial Literacy Bureau, making sense of your dollars, safeguarding your future.